Good afternoon everyone, I welcome you all to this ninth module of security requirements. Today we will be talking about authentication and authorization for IoT device. We have talked about it, we will slightly be talking slightly in detail about this. So, generally authentication is required for everyone, for human beings also. Whenever we receive a call from some unknown number, so सबसे पहली thing we utter from mind, yes, who is speaking, है ना, कौन बोल रहा है. So we need to identify, establish a identity of any other person we are talking to, and then after knowing his identity, then we start revealing the information. That amount of information revealed comes under part of authorization that is available for the entities. So using the passwords is common authentication method. Over internet we secure our data on internet, outside our mail, our profiles, etc. by they all are password protected. So in the scenario of Internet of Things, this secure authentication is to be provided to protect sensitive sensors that is stored on the data and is shared over a network, or over fog or cloud. Generally, when we talk about the website, the internet websites, they use passwords for authenticating the identity of a person, and they use authenticate site through this over the internet. This is done using SSL protocol, that is secure socket layer protocols. However, when our internet when our devices, small devices, they communicate over a internet of things, they it is difficult for the devices to talk directly to the SSL layer. They are not what you call as well versed for it, and they are not designed for it. Moreover, due to the small size of the sensor and the scale of internet of things, it is very difficult to talk directly to through SSL layer. Now, why this authentication is required? Suppose taking an example of any of the hospital, all the sensor nodes which are connected to the, let's say, bed of the patient or body of the patient, that is virus body area network, if they are compromised, if they are compromised and reveal the wrong data, transmit the wrong data, the patient would definitely be a dead man. So whenever these nodes, they are transmitting any data to a gateway, they are required to produce their identity before gateway accept their data. Now when this gateway transmit this data out, or this sync node transmit its data over to the cloud, the sync node itself has to provide its entity over to the medical over to the cloud, that this is who I am forwarding the data. So this secure communication is done, so there is no risk to the what you call as the end user. And there can be n number of things. If the wrong data is recorded by the hospital, wrong information, then it would definitely wrong type of what you call as diagnosis would lead to wrong type of development of medicines and all. Moreover, we can put it this way, that that strong IoT authentication is required in order to entrust the what you call as connected devices or sensor nodes to the uh, internet of things platforms. And this identity of the devices should be entrusted by the IoT, so that they perform successfully what they were purported to be. Now this means that each IoT device a unique identity that can be authenticated whenever it is trying to communicate to either sensor node, either the gateway, or to any other sensor node. In a way, all the and this should be a unique identity. Whenever it tries to attempt to connect to a gateway, it will have to produce its identity. Now with this unique ID, with the every sensor node in the world, today we know that there are more people working, more sensors and more data collecting devices in the world than actual population of the world. So with this unique identity of the sensor, the system administrator or the network administrator can track each device throughout its life cycle for the number of years that device is functional. It can be tracked down, and if it is performing any of the malicious or unexpected activity, then administrator can simply crop its authorization. So that is why the authentication is the most important thing, which is to be securely what you call as which is to be securely designed. So coming again ahead in this module, we talked about the security architecture. What are the security threats of this? So the heart of the security architecture framework is basically authentication layer. This authentication layer, every device has some read only memory, and there the information, its identity, etc., etc., is used, and that we so this authentication layer is basically used to provide the entity or identity information of the device which is trying to connect to Internet of Things. Now when connected, these machine to machine when connected, and when these machines starts talking to themselves using the embedded sensors and communication protocols, they need to access the cellular network, or they need to we can say that they need to access the infrastructure of Internet of Things. So this trust relationship which is initiated based on the what you call as personal personality identity, personal identity of a device is then carried on, and it is there are a lot of other protocols, available these days. So every time or one time, there are a lot of ways will be coming on to it later on. Now when when we human beings are talking to the machines, they can use a number of things, like you want to access your phone, you can use your thumb impression, or you can use your face pattern, or password you can enter, or some pattern you can design. But this when this machine to machine communication takes place, machine to machine communication takes place, they does not have such kind of things. So for this machine to machine communication, without any human intervention, they use some authentication mechanism to develop the identity of the what you call as other device. Now whenever IoT or machine they communicate, their endpoint meets fingerprinted by they can authenticate each other by fingerprints or something. But such identifier for machines, such identifiers like RFID, what they does is they share some digital certificates, like X500 certificate is very common. Then MAC addresses of the endpoints, or sometimes immutable root of trust, that is hardware based, that is embedded in the device itself. Now this X500 certificate is very common, and it is lot of used, and this is basically a X500. I guess you might have read this in network or something. So X500 is basically a digital certificate, and I'm so sorry, they are digital certificate, and they are the most widely accepted. These digital certificates for these devices, or which the machines which communicate over the net, are issued by the they are developed by ITU itself, and they are known as ITU X500 standards. So they basically, these standards basically define the format of the public key infrastructure certificates. That is, one every individual organization, industry, they have one public key that is, you know, known to everyone. Then there is one private key which is only, it's like a password only, that is only known to the organization itself. So whenever anyone, you know, sends any information to any organization, any crucial information is shared, then it is shared using PKI. And whenever that industry or organization or the related machine, it want to access that information, it will have to produce that private key in order to, you know, what you call as read that encrypted message. So these PKI are used to manage the identity and security in net connectivity and computer networks. You know, they are unrobustive and ubiquitous, and we actually, knowingly unknowingly, we encounter them every day while we are using a number of sites or, you know, mobile applications and lot of things. It's just that we do not realize that between our device and this, what you call as application service provider, the digital certificate of our device has been shared before any information is, you know, sent to our device. So this X paths are quite important, and they are widely used. So now, you know, there are a lot of other authorization processes also, because when we talk of sensors, these sensors, all the device in the IoT network cannot manage to have enough memory to store these digital certificates. So there are other you know, authentication methods also, like IEEE 802.1 X is there, IEEE 802.1 is there, and it has series of protocols, and there are a lot of other protocols which are IPsec. Then there is, I'm forgetting the name, there is IETF also developed one separate PKI for these sensing device. Then RFC is again, there are a lot of other authentication methods which are available, you know, starting from, you know, certificate based communication to biometric authentications. Then the exchange of token is also there. Whenever any leaf node wants to communicate to the network, it can exchange a token, and based upon the type of token that is shared by the entity, information is shared with it. So these are couple of authentication mechanism. So authorization, as name suggest, is the level, extent of information that can be shared to the device. It is very similar to the one example that I shared with you previously. Like, we all have access to ERP, but you can access your information only. If it comes to me, I can access the grades, the attendance, everything related to you guys, of all the 29 students present in your 29-30 students present in your class, but I cannot access the information of any other section. So head of the department can check all the sections, in fact all the years, second, third, fourth, but he cannot access the information related to any faculty or any what you call as a student who is not belonging to department of computer science. So when it comes to VC, he can access entire ERP. So that is the level of authorization which is there in M2M communication also, and this is built in a core authentication layer, and this entirely depends upon the type of net, who has designed the net, and what entity, what machine is entitled for what purpose, and what is the basically the work domain of that machine. Depending upon it is entitled to access the resources of that industry. So this was authorization. Then, you know, what happens, or what is insufficient authentication or authorization? we are living in a world, digital world. You know, there is a lot of digitization around us. So what if this, you know, there is not sufficient not sufficient amount of work is done to authenticate the network. So first let's talk about, you know, the insufficient authentication in Internet of Things. So as we already talked about that, at the heart of the security, what do you call as architecture, at the heart of the security architecture, there is a what we call as this what do you call as, at the heart of this security architecture there is authentication layer. So whenever any of the device is let's say accessing the, you know, network, or for that matter accessing internet, then the, you know, they are required to prove their identity. But we are talking about Internet of Things. In IoT, new devices, they get, you know, there are a lot of new devices, lakhs of new devices coming up every day, new devices that, so new devices, whenever it connects to the IoT system, it should be produced in a way that it should be able to produce its identity card, it should be prove its authenticity, and it should authenticate itself before it can start, you know, trans receiving of data, which in the network, trans receiving data, receiving and transmitting of data to the network, or receiving the data from the network. So like अगर हम किसी remote, if we are talking about some leaf node that is deeply embedded in the what do you call as deep inside our system, and you know, it has to, you know, it is waiting to input the its what do you call as authentication in order to access the network. If there is some leaf node, it is there and it is trying to access the network, it has requested but it is waiting for the response, then how we as a network designer, you know, we can ensure that these devices, the device which is requesting, the remote node which is requesting, is the node which we deployed, or how can we entrust its identity, yeah, how can we trust its identity before, you know, authorization, before providing deciding the authorization. So it has to prove us by either, you know, token method, or OAuth authorization is also there. If you are using this, we will be discussing OAuth in coming modules. So it has to produce a digital certificate for us to ensure that yes, we are we have recognized you and you are XYZ, and these are the kind of information that can be, you know, accessed by you. So if this security infrastructure is not in place, then, you know, there are a lot of threats and there are a lot of angles from which attack any of the malicious user or hacker can take undue advantage from the network. And some of these kind of threats in industrial IoT and in general, we have tried to jot it down. In industrial IoT, you know, if it is compromised, then suppose smart transportation, any of the vehicle, or for that matter, the just now we discussed in wireless body area network, it is any of the sensor is compromised, so it can lead to accident, or even, you know, worse, which may cause injury, physical injury, and as well as the what do you call as financial injury. So finance sector, defense sector, as and the healthcare sector, you know, they have to take care properly, because if in healthcare sector, if the, you know, what do you call as ailment of any of the patient is diagnosed wrongly due to some false node, or due to some node which is compromised by the by the hacker, we all know, you know, what can happen. And same ways, if we talk about the smart city scenario, and where even homes are locked using small digital locks. If some intruder have an access to our solar panel, or our smart home, or for that matter access to our shop, the network of our shop or our mall, then they can produce thousands types of attacks against our you know uh, against the entire electronic setup that we have done to secure our homes and all, and it can not only lead to what you call as physical and financial threats. It can be much more, depending upon who is that person whose home or whose business is basically compromised. So if we talk from individual point of view, then one of the biggest problem is the my own identity is my own identity. I like to I know who I am, and I, depending upon person I am talking to, like if I am talking to the people whom I graduated with, or whom I did my post graduation, or with whom I did my PhD. So I generally I am quite professional with my colleagues with whom I pursued my PhD. But if I'm talking to some of the my batchmate of BTech, then I talk to him differently. So I'm quite concerned about my individual things, and everybody is. I really do not want ki, what is my daily procedure, which is known to my family members, is become public. So this, if any of the if my mobile phone or my digital watch, it is what you call as hacked by the hacker, so he can track me throughout the day. He can track me throughout the day, know my patterns, and anything adverse can be happening. I don't know whether I shared it with you. A survey was conducted against this child trafficking, and out of that it was established that 70% of the crime in child trafficking, the abduction of the child, was caused due to his information shared by guardians, parents on the social media. So this level of threat is there to the individual, because I really do not want anyone to unnecessarily track me or keep surveillance on me using some sensor, or maybe attach some small IoT sensor on the somewhere in my car and keeps on my movement and all. So this is one of the biggest threat to a individual. And if someone hacks my, a lot of messages on Facebook and Insta, they come that someone has hacked my profile and they are asking for money, and they are sending the inappropriate messages. So we know that inappropriate profile, if someone hacks my LinkedIn profile, and while I am asleep he changes my security and my target areas, like, so lot of mess can happen to an individual using this internet of things. On the other end, when we talk for the business world, no one accesses the information displayed on his website daily. Let's take an example of Graphic only, like anything new that is being posted definitely goes to the table of the chairperson, honorable chairperson. But if someone hacks the profile, stealing the eye from our network administrator guys, and uploads wrong information by the university, so it would be a it would be a mess. So inappropriate categorizations of profiles, whether it is for business world or for individual, it can it can be easily created through the examination and tracking of the network, and geographical tracking, information tracking, and financial transactions tracking can be easily done using this internet of things, the data which is available on the internet of things. Like we really do not, as a business person, I really do not want to know everyone to know what is my overall turnover and all, But as my account person daily shares this information with the bank and the transaction keeps on going, and this information is on the, obviously when it is flowing from my organization to the bank, it is on the net. If somebody accesses, then it would be a big financial threat to me. Then another thing, if someone manipulates that financial history, I will be in a mess. Government of India will not leave me. So these kind of things are there, can pop up in this, and this threat to finance would reduce till the inquiry goes on. My accounts would be seized and I will not be able to provide the what you call as services that would this consecutively would lead somehow to ruin me. So vandalism, theft or destruction that can be done through what you call as data that is accessed by my IoT, which I deployed for my convenience, luxury and my development, would, if used in an appropriate manner, can lead to adverse things. Then again, then ability to access the internet of things. This is again one of the threat. If I have an ability to gain the unauthorized access to any of the IoT gateway or edge device to communicate with the network, then I can manipulate the data, and by taking advantages of any of their weaknesses, I can mal update their softwares and insert virus and crash their sites and create a lot of problems. Again, then if I am able to gain the unauthorized access to any of the enterprise, and by compromising any of the sensors, I can I can just not only do them the financial harm, but over a period of time I can block there. Suppose if I gain access to any of the network of some super mall and I gain access to their RFID tags or something, I can pick up whatever I I want to take. There are small tags attached to all the clothes and things which are there in big malls like Walmart and all. So I can pick up anything and just hold them and leave the door of the mall, because guard is not gonna check me anything that's blankly in my hand until and unless the alarm that is raised. So these small plastic wala tags which you might have seen on the new clothes which you buy from some shopping malls, if you take them outside the gate of that door, alarm is raised and guards holds you. So this and there are n number of other things. If I am able to what you call as, if I am able to falsify my identity as some or falsify the identity of my device to the network's IoT device by gaining the access of any of the tokens or PKI methods that is stored in a device, then I can float any kind of information on this network, and that can lead to lot of unlawful activities, and these kind of events only crashes the sites of the banks. These kind of many times when we go to bank, we listen server नहीं चल रहा. सर्वर नहीं चल रहा का क्या मतलब है? सर्वर थोड़ी बदल गया. Network is congested. Now why network is congested? It is always some or the other malicious user sitting across the globe. They keeps on sending n number of requests. So our server gets busy processing those requests, and the legitimate users that are they have to stand long times in the queue and sometimes go back home without doing banking itself. So I guess that shall be enough for this module. Thank you.